advertised meeting concerning, a motion made by Ms. Laura Cobb, and passed. It was, oh, that's the wrong thing, I'm sorry.
Maybe the number's not changed to something.
To accept and award a contract to Chilton Contractors for the County Road 35 projects in District 1 and amend the county transportation plan to take $87,000 from the District 1 culvert work plan and add the proposed County Road 35. And so it is 3 p.m. We are in the library. It's been advertised, so we'll call a special meeting to order. And this is not the same special meeting that we did Friday, that we continue. Make note of that. So that's the work session. It's still being continued to this meeting.
We got 2 special meetings on a work session.
Yeah, really. We continued special meeting in all right, Ms. Cobb?
I make a motion that.
No, I'm doing roll call, I'm sorry.
Here, I'm sorry.
Mr. Owens?
Here.
Mr. Henry?
Here.
And Mr. Hill?
Here.
We have a quorum, call special meeting to order, and I'm going to read the resolution.
So there's 2 of them on that page.
Okay.
First one is the 35 and the second one is amending the county transportation.
Matters to be addressed, and this would be A, whereas the Cleburne County Commission decided to solicit bids for the County Road 35 project number RA-CCP 15-72-22 for full depth reclamation of a portion of County Road 35 and bituminous, is that how you say it? Bituminous, that's a good word. Bituminous treatment, JG on County Road 35. And whereas the county engineer was tasked to prepare specifications and obtain bid proposals concerning said County Road 35 project, and whereas the county engineer solicited and received the bids for the County Road 35 project number RA-CCP 15-72-22 and recommends the commission execute a contract with Chilton Contractors Incorporated in the amount of $546,060.70 to be paid with $459,000 of the ARPA money allocated to District 1 and $87,000 from the county's Rebuild Alabama Fund. Now therefore be it resolved that the Cleburne County Commission accepts the recommendation of the county engineer and directs that a contract be executed with Chilton Contractors Incorporated for the County Road 35 road project number RACCP 15-7222 in the amount of $546,060.70 to be paid with $459,000 of American Rescue monies allocated to District 1 and $87,000 from the county's Rebuild Alabama Fund, and the chairman be authorized to sign the said contract after review and approval by the county attorney. I'm going to entertain a motion.
I make a motion.
Second.
Ms. Cobb makes a motion, and we have a second by Mr. Owen. Do we have any discussion?
I mean, if we're gonna pull that money out of next year's Rebuild Alabama, what are we gonna do next year when that's short?
That's a project that will have to bid out. So we'll see bids and see what that bid price is. We have to look at it for that.
But you know it's gonna be higher because of everything still on.
It's just it's a chance that I'm going to have to pay, but I mean, if I can save money by getting this done now, move forward with it, it's unlogical that I spend that money towards that. That's the project that's been on the books for about 11 years.
Okay, here's what I suppose we just take it out of rainy day fund and everybody get $87,000. Rainy day fund is setting well over $2 million right now.
So you only need 87,000?
Yeah, that's all I need to finish the project. And like we said, if they can go ahead and do it now,
And that's what they're in the county right now, and when they finish up the project they're on, they can roll right over into it. If they can't roll right over into it here in a week, then it's gonna push it to next year, and remobilization and all that kind of stuff.
I agree that we need to do it right now, I agree, I'm just disagreeing about how we did the money.
So you're saying 87,000 to each, let's just put it in discretionary money,
No, I mean, when you have to,
specify? You still have
I mean, see, I got 450,000, 459, just like she does, sitting in my fund to use on roads. Well, just give her 87,000, add 87 to mine, add 87 to Roger, and the ambulance.
but would you add it to a certain line item that you would, the 87 hers, that's what I'm asking.
Well, it'd be per use, whatever. I mean, it's gonna be enough. You're gonna use it on this project, I guess wherever you wanna put it, to be used for each one, you just saying add it to that money.
Or if something, when it comes time for that cover, if there's any way that we can save money to back some of that money out, we're not gonna know until it comes time for that project. You know, I mean, I know material's up, we don't know what it's gonna do in the next year. But I just wanted to try to take a chance and see what happens in the next year. And also, I have asked Lee to apply for the grant, which it is a long shot, but I have spoken to a few people in Montgomery, and I'm willing to take that long shot.
And I think your point is taken, Ms. Cobb. The point is, he's asking you to amend your resolution and back out of the ARPA funds, or back out of the 87.
Rainy day fund.
She's wanting to do it out of next year's funds for
My project.
rebuild Alabama.
So if we do what Terry's suggesting, that second resolution and amending the county transportation plan would not be needed. It would all remain the same, and you would pull
I mean,
the 87, 87, 87, 87 out of the rainy day.
have we even got that money yet?
Well, yeah, but I mean, but going back to the resolution is what I'm saying, Lee. You got a copy of it? So you don't need, if she,
So if she.
you want to back it out of the ARPA money, that's what I'm saying.
No, you want to back it out of that county rebuild Alabama. Instead of using the county rebuild Alabama fund, you would utilize the rainy day fund.
Okay.
See, the way the resolution is written, it'll come out of 1.1 million for next year's projects. We borrowed money on future projects.
Do you want to amend, he's asking you, would you consider
Do we
amending?
really want to dip into our rainy days? Do we, I mean,
My opinion, the general fund and rainy day fund is in the best circumstance of government in office, but that's my opinion. The rainy day fund is, you know, we passed that resolution where it drops to 10. Yeah. The rainy day fund is $2,013,153.08.
One more time. Come on.
2 million.
Hold on a second.
But
$2,013,153.08. You know, we got $1 million of it in a CD, and then we got $1,013,000 that is just in that account. And you know, we did a resolution, and once it gets over 2 million, it drops from 20% to 10%, so it gets back under 2 million.
So you be taking.
348,000 that would come out of the,
304, yeah, that's what I was,
yeah, and that's something.
all right, so looking at that, Lee, are you okay with that amendment? Is
I'm
that something
asking
you
the
want to
other
do?
two gentlemen to see.
I second it, I'm okay with it.
But I mean, she has,
I know, but I'd like to have their input too, if you don't mind, for it.
oh, I don't mind, I'm just saying it has to be.
Yes.
Well, if you do it, you're gonna get our opinion when we vote yes or no for it.
That's fine,
You want to make an amendment
I'll make it a minute.
to take, all right, instead of 87,000, out of the county rebuild Alabama fund, we're gonna scratch that, right? And now it'll be where, to be paid.
Lisa's called it a reserve account, I always call it a rainy day.
Okay, I see now. So it's 459. I'm just thinking about how to say this because of, we're taking out 348,000
But that's to be distributed between all four of us.
between, yeah, the other 32, yeah. So, whereas in the amount of 546,000 to be paid with the 459.
What, Brian, can I interrupt?
Yes, sir.
Why don't we just make it simple? Why don't we just say, let's take that much money out of the rainy day fund and allocate it to each commissioner to be used on road projects or whatever, and then go back to her resolution, and she's gonna say she wants to use her 87,000 on her road project.
Still got,
Wouldn't that be easier?
I think you are looking at two resolutions. I think you amend this one to say District 1 and 87,000 from the reserve fund. As far as this resolution goes, that covers Ms. Laura. And then you would have a second resolution saying pull the 87,000 from.
You actually need that one first, so she'll have the money to move over. So you do the one where you take the money from rainy day fund first, and then do what Lee said on this.
Because then you'll have it to do it, right now you don't have it, you know, so Terry's right, do this first, then do yours. Good?
And keep it this way.
Because you're gonna award the 546,000.
Yes, that's what's going to be.
Okay. So, we do have a motion on the table, and a second.
So we need to table that for about 5 minutes, right?
What I'm asking you to do, is say I'm not willing to amend the budget, amend her resolution for right now.
Because it's actually gonna be a different resolution when it
Yeah.
comes back.
Because we just said we was gonna amend it.
Okay, well, I'm not good with amending.
Okay, all right. So we're back at the original resolution, and we're not ready to vote on that, okay? And that too that's gonna be amended in just a minute, okay? So we're gonna let you start with another resolution, where we're taking,
That resolution needs to say that, we're gonna pull whatever the figure is, I didn't know.
it's 348,000.
Out of the reserve account and distribute it equally between the four commissions, I'm sorry. For projects approved by the commission, how about that?
What if the cost goes up? You know, you mentioned that, what if the cost goes up?
Well, you got this project locked in,
This one is locked in.
Okay.
so this project won't go locked
That's
in.
the reason I'm going to get this project in now.
All right.
Next
What
spring,
do
when
you-
you start doing these other ones, that's when.
That's when we're gonna find out where the rest of it comes
Where is this money gonna be, the 348, what account would that be put in, and put in like would it be added to the,
That's the reason I said, Ryan, if you put it into the discretionary budget, it's still gotta be voted on. You can't just like you used to, go over here and say, hey, give all the fire departments $1,000.
okay,
We changed that to where all 4 commissioners has to vote on any money out of discretionary fund. So even though you come up and you see money in an account that's for discretionary money, which is not much, that money can still be used, because from the general fund, it don't have as much ties, but with the money, sometimes we use is that the tobacco tax money has to be for economic development or playground equipment or goodwill, health.
It's just for projects that's approved by the commission to be simple.
okay, discretionary is good with everybody? Okay, that sounds fine, that's good to me. Okay, so the resolution would be, whereas the county commission wishes to take 348,000 out out of the reserves or rainy day account to be divided equally and placed in their discretionary,
What put discretion?
Yeah, just put in,
I'd put for future projects or something, because it's not really discretionary money. I mean, I'm gonna use mine on roads. It'll just be added to my 459 for roads.
was asked, now we go backwards, we're backing up.
But I don't think you need to put discretionary in there, because discretionary, do whatever, you know.
Well, I know y'all just said, y'all just said that, I didn't know
But,
you had.
but you can, you can list it as discretionary, you
that's
just.
what it is. It's
We're
coming
gonna
out
have
of
to
general
go
fund.
in anyway, so it's still
Okay.
kind of controlled.
General fund money can be used about any project, and most of them, we all agree it's gonna be used in roads and bridges, but, you know,
Do
whatever.
you have to move it to a fund, or can you not just allocate it and leave it in that?
It won't be moved until it's allocated. It'll still be,
Yeah.
you'll still have,
It's be on the board.
it'll be in the books that
It'll be
we
just
would
like the
have
ARPA money, it'll just,
be sitting there
yeah.
So it would remain in that reserve fund
until
until it's allocated.
Until the project's allocated.
But still, you want it in an account, know that it's there in the account, so that you can
like
say, hey, I want, when you get a project coming up, or you get another project, you want to say, hey, I'm running low, I want to take out of my 87, I want to take 40.
the hard gravel,
Right.
the one.
And I know you know where you want yours to go.
Yeah.
That's fine. Right, how you want.
I'm guessing.
Look.
All right, so whereas the Cleveland
As long as you
County,
get your hands on the money.
whereas the Cleveland County Commission wishes, whereas the Cleveland County Commission agrees to take $348,000 from the rainy day reserve account, and this would be out of general fund, and equally distribute it.
Around the end of the whole thing. It's out of
It really is general fund, though. It's still general fund.
It would mean that it's in a CD.
But it's still general fund money, it's not.
Okay.
That's what I was.
Even the rainy day fund is it's not moved to a CD, has it? You got a CD, and then you got money in the general fund for a rainy day fund. Or is it the same account?
It's in a money market account by itself,
Okay.
because we had to break all that up to be able to draw some interest, you know, how we did that when we did the bank deal.
I mean,
Whatever, we can.
my point of that it is, you use it for general fund if you had to go to it, because it doesn't have the attachments like his money has.
That's good, let's go.
Whereas $348,000 to, whereas the commission wants to take $348,000 out of reserves account, or reserves accounts, rainy day, general fund, and if we need to redo that somehow, but, and put it in discretionary accounts, giving each commissioner $87,000 even, to be decided on at a later date.
I make a motion.
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor saying aye? That's painful, I know. Motion passed. Emily will work on that. Or Crystal will work on that. Now, going back to the original,
Yeah, it's something, how much we weigh?
I had to show.
we're in the middle of,
I know. I'm a grandmother.
I'm proud. Did she just happen right now? Just now?
No.
6 months ago.
Couldn't wait, you just couldn't wait, could you?
Yeah, it popped up and I had to have it.
Yes. Congratulations. All right, going back to the original resolution, is you have a motion on the table that needs to be amended where you agreed to pay $546,060 to be paid with the $459,000 of the ARPA funds and $87,000 from your discretionary account. Now therefore resolves that the Cook County Commission accepts the recommendation of the county engineer directs that the contract be executed with Chilton Contractors Incorporated for the County Road 35 Road Project RA-CCP 15-72-22 in the amount of $546,000 with $459,000 coming from ARPA monies and $87,000 coming from District 1's discretionary account. Are you agreeing with that amendment?
Yes.
Are you good with that?
I'm good with it.
Any other discussion? All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So now, did we just move at 87 into that, what she needed, right? Okay. So, once she moves it over, you'll know that, we just don't want to go to 300 or something, she just, her money's going straight to him, so.
We'll work on a resolution, we'll get Lisa to move the money for the 87 to all y'all, or however she wants to do that, when it's needed. But it needs to be noted that each of you will have 87,000 Scott spent her.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second that motion.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Before we jump into the work session, I need to make a phone call.
Yes, sir.
Or you can go ahead and do the work session, I gotta be here for you.
I do, that Marty Gerald, everybody do put him on the agenda.
Yes.
I'll talk to him and tell him he's got 3 minutes. Marty Gerald?
Phone call, she must go, am I interrupting?
No, go ahead. Work session. We got Marty Gerald coming to speak to us concerning that, what's that county road?
625.
County Road 625.
He is one big old baby, Lord.
Starting, Emily, y'all know what, if Lisa had anything she needed on the agenda or needed inform us on? We have got to address, and y'all are aware of this, I guess everybody you got a copy of this, from the Association of County Commissioners of Alabama Self-Insurance Pools. They want to express their appreciation for the County Administrator Lisa Copeland, Engineer Lee Estes, HR Office Safety Coordinator Emily Brown, and 911 EMA Director Crystal Cavender for generously giving their time during the visit. But we have to do a response letter, and it's got to be received within 90 days from the date of this letter. And it's dealing with, during the inspection, the carpet located at the probate office area was bulging and could lead to a slip fall incident. We recommend the carpet be replaced for safety concerns. And the probate office, it's all me, also had carpet area that was not level and a slip hazard. So we recommend that these areas be marked off with paint or tape to identify the walkway is uneven. There's a little lip. So I guess Lisa will send this, has always been the procedure.
And copy me with the binding so I can get it done.
It was all stuff inside the file, that's what it is.
I know.
Would it not be better to just tear all that out and put it
Carpet.
or tile?
It's just title carpet, this is the loose
That
carpet.
way you wouldn't ever have to worry about if you put tile in it.
There's some old
Like
tile.
whatever kind of recommendation you say.
But I mean, the tile is cleaner and you never have to, it's
Well,
done.
I think he's got money in his budget, so stuff he wants to get done, so, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just approve that budget and we'll get on it.
But would you not think that the carpet is just adding
It just adds more of a, probably, it's
nasty?
tougher. That carpet's probably 50 years old, isn't it?
But I know, store, I use back there with that concrete, I use, it looks like hardwood, but it's a tile.
That's what we put up in the front.
Yes.
We can go with that.
We'll try to shoot for that, at least in that, maybe in that.
All right.
Okay. We just have to address that. And this is the letter I have to send it back. Do you know of anything, at least on that? Do you have anything in the past?
I need to get the resolution to accept the annual maintenance bids that we opened last month. I haven't used it out. It's same folks as normal. The only one that I did not receive a bid on was the litter. Nobody took me up on the litter bid, so I'm gonna try to redo that one and put it back out.
Okay.
Got awards for the rest of them, I'll email you.
Okay, what that needs to be on the agenda?
Is it over consent?
Consent? Everybody good with consent? Okay.
What's one of consent? I'm lost. You say you ain't got a bid, then you're saying you got something.
The microsurfacing bid is gonna be Whitaker contract on the Batuman Street, it's going to Charlie Watts. I put out,
You don't have nothing to do with picking up trash, in it.
there was 10 of them total, and I received, I've got awards for 9 of them, and I don't have anything for the 10th one, which is the litter.
Let's consent on the 9. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else?
And then I emailed y'all my contract, I need to get that put on the agenda for this year.
I'm good with that.
Y'all want that on new business or consent agenda?
You've done sent it to Jason for review,
Jason's reviewed it, Meg's reviewed it, and
made the
made
changes.
the changes, and that's what it is.
What's your pleasure?
New
Consent?
business, consent.
Consent? Everybody good with consent?
You good with that?
Yes.
If you're not good with it, all you do is not necessary.
Anything else?
No, sir, it's.
Anybody have a question concerning anything else? Lee?
So the new Boone mower is, what road is it working on?
It's,
Because it's been in the yard ever since I've seen it.
it's getting moved to up there at 55 where the other one broke down at, so we're gonna start up there, coming south of it.
Okay.
So, for the last few weeks, we've just been running it here and there, hitting.
So
worst
something like that. Is there places that we're gonna design to park that thing? Because I don't want it like some of this junk we got just sitting on the side of the road where people come by and knock the windows out of it. I would like to find out there that we're good working with it and see if we can find a location that might make it a little more safer.
We've got spots around that say somebody ain't gonna knock the wind out of it. That's,
I'm just saying,
but yeah, no, I mean, we've got our designated spots that we've got permission to park. It's supposed to be where it can be watched and.
but I don't know if it would be better to walk it out into the woods and hide it somewhere like camouflage than to park it on the side of the road so somebody comes by. Because that's a nice, you're saying, right? It's really a nice piece of equipment. I don't want to just sit
You
there.
kind of do in my area, back down that whole field. They can park it, they can move it there, park it with all the other equipment I have.
Well, as behind as we are with that, I've pretty much told them, this is gonna be a slow process, but typically we cut paved roads, when we go back in the winter time and cut dirt roads, and I told them to start where you at, we're hitting paved and dirt, we're gonna just
Yeah.
do it all till we make that one pass, and it's gonna be slow and painful, but, it takes a year to do it. But
That's what it's like.
that's, we are just gonna hit everything in.
So you're gonna have that guy and somebody to pick up with him. Okay.
Now, wait, of course, I wasn't here the other day, and I may have already brought this up, but your other one that's down, you aren't planning on getting it up and selling it, and replacing it with
Would be ideal, the replacement, trying to figure out in the budget's gonna be the thing, because I don't just have that
So let's just talk about this. So if you're talking about replacing the junk, how much is it gonna cost? Just what would be a number with a new head and that tractor? What is the cost of, replacing that old one that even, we've replaced them and they don't last very long?
The head is not the problem with the one that's in the shop, it's the tractor.
Okay. So are you talking 50,000 or 100,000?
I'm talking, say it'd be $80,000, another 110 horsepower tractor to replace it. And these new Momaxes is 184,000 is what that was. But this one, so it was the tractor that tore up, it was the clutch. I actually talked to them today, and they tell me all to get back here pretty quick, they got to put back together and running it right now.
Okay, so it's back on the road, so how much did that cost us?
Well, that's the thing, it ain't back on the road yet. It's still at the shop, they have that all put back together. And they're running it over there, just trying to make it tear up again.
The transmission?
Just to make sure everything is working.
And that was like 20,000?
We'll probably end at about 9,500 is what it's going to
Okay.
end up being.
Well, we'll get it back out, we're running till it quits, but I think we need to all get together. Because it sure would be nice to replace if we gotta go down that road. What do you think we could get for it if you got it back and not put it out there and tear it up so we know it's working shape?
I mean, all you sell is a tractor.
What about the boom?
I mean, it would go with it, but as far as somebody at auction, you're still just selling basically the tractor, you probably may get 30,000 out of it.
And with the boom more too?
Well, there's not a big, I mean, it's money, but it ain't big.
I just wanted to reach out to some of these small municipalities that might want it. And say, hey, we just got to put this thing back on the road, new transmission, and sort of see if there's any municipalities interested in it that might give us,
You could advertise it on the ACCA.
and if we can't get it.
Send out an email.
My biggest concern is if he gets it back, tears it up again, then you're not gonna get anything out of
Okay.
it. That's
Or we may get back there 3 or 4 more years, I don't know, that's the thing, it's a chance.
So, okay.
All right. Anything else? Is there anything y'all need to ask that we think you have because of administration of Lisa?
Do what now?
Y'all think of anything that needs to be voted on except the budget? The budget should be voted on or continued at least.
Yeah. Well, this is a work session, so we're not into that.
No, but the budget would be on next meeting automatically, because that's when we normally vote on it, we may continue. I was just thinking about administrative part, the budget is one thing that's always in September. Can y'all think of anything else?
Let me just tell you what I got, some of it's gonna be for Lisa.
Okay.
I went to that ARPA meeting a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I got her the paperwork, and you can go online and see the thing if you wanna see the whole presentation, but the highlights, from my point of view, the state sitting on 101 million on broadband that the governor had decided what to do with, and there's some lay down water grants out there that'll go with that money we've already got, and I think we need to get Lisa to look at those.
So you're saying money already approved, you could get additional money to put with it?
That's what they were saying at that meeting, that Adam has got some water grants, and they said you could use them along with what we already had, so with that 700,000, we might get 300 or something, we'll go with it. The sheriff maintenance bid, I don't know why we keep rolling that down the road. At some point, we're gonna have to pull the trigger on that deal, because we're already in trouble.
Lisa emailed me today asking them to try to get an outline for that, and actually got Crystal to pull some, so that way I could try to help Lisa with trying to get that out.
And
I just haven't had time to do
I
it.
understand that, but we've been talking about it for 6 months, and we still ain't had that one out bid. But, I mean, it's not your fault. And what are we gonna do about the SRO and the sheriff?
We're still waiting on some answer from Mr. Cleburne.
Yeah,
They're right, so that's what everybody's understanding is.
and I'm just gonna reach out to him tomorrow, just to give him my questions that I have. I just don't and I talked to another lady that's in Carroll County that has a police officer, and he goes from, he runs 2 schools in Carroll County. He goes, spends the morning at one, and the next day he'll start back the other one in the morning and one in the evening. But, the biggest thing of it is, it's no different than what we were talking the other day. You can't get cars. And we got slots for a deputy right now. The commission, I just can't see how a commissioner, I mean, we can give the fund, I don't have a problem with the funds, but somewhere or another, it's gotta be the sheriff saying that he's gonna make sure he has a deputy in those schools, because if it works out that, sometimes when a deputy quits, and it seems like we train the deputies and they go somewhere else. So how are we gonna be to sign a contract that we're going to keep a deputy in that school? If it was us and we were certified deputies and it was your school and the guy had quit or got sick, you'd go fill in. Same way with that, but we're not saying for a certified deputy. I'm just saying the sheriff, I just think it needs to be some lenience in there, because y'all know how hard it is to fill some of these jobs. Let's just make sure that we don't wind up getting sued because we can't hire a deputy that we're not trying. And I think all of us are on board with putting a deputy there, but to just make sure that the sheriff's department, because we can't really tell the sheriff to do that. And so,
Has to be a contract.
agreement with the sheriff,
Yeah.
and we just give him the funds to do that.
It's all about the liability. I mean, I discussed that with Chad Young, and he was like, what liability? I mean, they just think liability is a word. Because I said, what's gonna happen when we have a lawsuit? He said, well, I'll just go talk to them. Like, that's the way you do business, you ain't just gonna go talk to them.
Well, I think
Matter of fact, the lawyer's gonna tell you not to go talk to them.
I just think when you sign a contract, if you sign a contract, it's gotta be that this is what you agree to. And let's just say, I'm just telling you, it might be that we can't get 2 deputies.
Has he had any luck with his?
He said he had 2 people that all he had to do was to take the test.
He's got 2 applicants.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
On that certified?
He said they still gotta take a test. But then again, I talked to him, we got a couple of deputies. I don't see Tim Gossage doing it. But Terry Turner might accidentally, might be willing to take on one of the schools. But I'm just, the money's one thing, but for me to sign a contract, to say I'm gonna do something, then I need to be in a position that I can tell that person to do something.
Well, the contract
Can't
needs to
let sheriff
sign
do
with the
that.
sheriff department. The sheriff needs to sign that contract, needs to be with him on it.
Well, we'll see what our attorney Jason says.
The vehicle, I mean, that's something that we need to look at. We're having no problems with vehicles.
It would be good to have a police presence in the south end of the county and the north end of the county. And even though it's just the presence of it being there, but the trade's good, I'm sort of across the fence with that.
Well, has anybody heard from
Jason?
yeah, haven't heard from, the commission is kind of getting a black eye on this deal, but I agree with them that if we can't control the people, I'm thinking the SRO officer should have a unique job description. A job description written for him to be on the school property when the doors are open, not just another deputy out here on the road.
I Googled that the other day, and there are job descriptions out there, and most of those deputies that works at those schools, now they only work when schools in process, or some of the ones I looked at, is anywhere from $20 to $30 an hour for those jobs.
Well,
But I mean, I just sort of,
I'm like you now, we need the people in the school, I feel like, And we can come up with money, but I wanna make sure that they're at the school, if they hire them, you know.
We just have to make sure that Jason is aware that, I mean, that the liability, it's gonna fall on the county either way, we know that liability's gonna fall on the county, but they need to be specific details in there before.
But I think one thing I'm saying is what happens when we can't supply a deputy for a week, whether the deputy has COVID, or we can't hire a deputy. I just want some kind of clause in there that all of a sudden they don't hire a third party to come in at $100 an hour, and we get a bill for $100 an hour, because I'm just telling you, you think there's no love, there won't be no love lost in the bank. So,
Jason Miller.
yeah.
So,
Well, what about just,
Him in the work session.
Yeah.
is there anything else on, that y'all wanna be on the agenda? Now, the budget should be on the agenda. We may continue that meeting if you're not ready to pass it.
well, I think we probably could have got that far along if, Lisa was here today. But can we not, continue this? Because
This is just a work session.
I know, but when we're fixing to go, maybe we're going into the one,
The budget
if
next.
she's not here, why can't we continue it for, has anybody got anything going on Thursday, Friday, or Monday? And we put this baby to bed, but I'm ready to put it to bed. I gotta get it off the dining room table. Because we need to, I really wanna have that one-on-one with all of us and her and Lee.
I can do Thursday and Monday, I'm out of town Friday.
Let me do what?
I'm good for Thursday.
I can do Thursday and Monday.
No, I'm not, I'm good for Monday. I gotta be in Atlanta Thursday.
I'll be okay for Monday, but not.
Monday it is.
Thursday. The 12th.
You good for Monday? I don't wanna do that.
What time Monday?
On late time.
I would say at 9 o'clock or 10. What do I need with that baby?
I don't get, I don't believe.
10 o'clock good for you?
You're gonna want the biscuits.
I'll bring the biscuits and the coffee.
Just make sure he brings the coffee, the good coffee, not the cheap coffee.
I'll bring my mop out over the weekend once or twice, so it'll be good.
Okay, we gotta
It's
get out
in
of
the
work
little
session, now I'm
pods.
gonna continue
They got a
that.
coffee pot back there, we can put the little pods in there.
Good. I got a whole bunch of them things that we give to them. I don't like them. I like coming right off the bean.
Is there anything else in the work session that y'all want on the agenda? Anything else that you want on the agenda or consent agenda? Right now, we have resolution, annual maintenance bid, and award contract engineering, that's on consent. We've got Marty Gerald. Hey, you want to talk to Lisa, we asked her about AM water grants, and the sheriff's maintenance bid, and SRO, which is going to be part of the budget.
Well, the SRO is not in the budget. Not in right now.
I have a question on that. That's just some things not to be voted on, but necessarily just to talk to her about. But anything else on the agenda as of now? Because we don't want to have to add anything, just think anything.
One thing, we might want to ask the two sheriffs, I guess we got two sheriffs now, if we get, I'm gonna talk to Jason, or if anybody else wants to talk to him, I'm gonna talk to him about these, school officers, just to see, to have them to come here, because I think it's gotta include them, and we might have to call a special meeting, to vote on it, to get it together. And I think the only thing we're working on is how long is the contract to do that? And Jason's gotta get on this ball with it.
We gotta talk about the money too. The way they write this deal up, they're gonna pay $69,000 from now to the end of time. So,
It's kind of about what they get from that, help money. It's about 60 or 70. I think all they're doing is handing it back to us.
what they're doing is, I've been through this process too. They think it's worth $80, $18 an hour. They want them for 170 days times 7.5 hours. You do multiply and it comes up to $69,000.
So,
And I asked the question when Chad was here, what about future raises and stuff like that? And it's all a problem.
Yeah.
So what, let me throw this out there. What if we just give them a percentage of SSUT money and then say, you get that percentage, if it goes over that, that's your damn problem.
That's hard to deal with that. Yeah.
We're still gonna have to tie that SUT money to it and keep them trying to come out here.
I've got an idea, if we're just talking, what about this? What about if we do two full-time deputies? Put one in the north end of that school, put one in the south end at Hollis, and then do them for 40 hours, and then when they're not at the school, they will work for the sheriff patrolling those two areas the rest of the year.
I don't have an issue with it, but you.
Because I don't think we're gonna get a part-time, this, you know, it's no different, we try to go after part-time.
The sheriff don't want part-time, sheriff wants full-time.
Right, but what I'm saying is, those two deputies would be to do school functions, so that cuts to two.
I mean, I agree with that, but you gotta get both the sheriffs and the school board all on board, that's the problem.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the resolution we passed will be that will be handing it over. As a sheriff, I wasn't here, so is the sheriff on board with this? It sounds like he is. He's gonna get two full-time
The
deputies.
sheriff wants 3 full-time deputies and 3 brand new cars.
Yeah, so he gets 2 deputies, and,
No cars. I mean,
yeah. Well, the first of all, you don't get no cars, we can't even get, we got 2 cars down right now, and there's no cars to be got. And I think,
but we gotta negotiate with the school board, which told me that the SSUT money was theirs anyway, they didn't know why we were keeping it started with. So, I mean, there's a big miscommunication through the whole deal.
I still, like I said before, we're gonna have to tie the SUT up in there some way or another.
That's what
And
I'm
when you-
saying,
and
you
you-
know.
We've got to tie the
when you put it down, that's the money we're gonna be used. As long as we got the SUT money, that's what will fund it. So,
If we don't
once
have
we don't have the SUT money,
We can't
that breaks you from your contract.
Because that could change in the future,
Yeah.
that legislation could change that.
Yeah.
Didn't we tie the raises
Yes.
to SUT for the time
But you
being?
still can do.
The resolution we got now was it pays for the job study and any additional money goes to salaries. I mean, we can change it, but
To tie.
it's not.
That they're under understanding that we're using that SUT money to help fund a program for the school and the school line.
The only way that's gonna work is gonna come up with a separate contract saying that the school board won't come back with. I don't
You
know if
can
that's
tie it
gonna
in with that.
Well, you can't tie it in with legislation from Montgomery. I mean, that's not solved, right?
Let's see, there's another county that's went to court and got 90% of it. So, I mean, if that's what they want to do, then that's fine, but.
But I think we show good faith that we take whatever our portion is for the 2 deputies, and we're gonna put a line item that comes out of the SUT money. We put it in there, we do the contract, tying it into that money, that's where it's going to. So then if it does come across the table, at least it gives us something to say we were doing the best we could with what we have. You know, the county does the best we can with what little bit of money we got. I argue every night on the phone
You've got,
and all day today on the phone telling them that.
it's like I told them before too, you can't get that school bus across that bridge.
They don't wanna hear that, they
See, y'all ain't heard the whole story I heard. See, I stood in the parking lot of the bank for an hour talking to Chad, and him threatening me, and then I got to the point where I was threatening him, and it was a, I mean, they lay this contract out, let's take it or leave it, we're gonna go to court, that's what he told me. If that's the way you're going into it, then nothing's gonna get done.
Well, I tried to talk with one of them, and it's like, they don't want to talk.
You see, I tried to explain to Chad, he
It's
said,
like,
Will you mind getting together how many bridges that the school bus cannot cross due to the fact that the weight limit, roads that the school bus is not able to go down because we don't have the funds? Those are the things that we need to lay out in front of the school board. This is a responsibility that we have with taxpayers' money also.
Well, the thing of it is, they think that, you know, on some of, you can watch all that, you can watch all that down the road, compared to roads and bridges, like the roads over in France and Spain and Italy over there. Those roads are built on rock. To try to compare roads that's been built over there on solid rock to the roads that are over here is you know, that's a nice.
Well, I'm just saying that we've got kids walking a mile to get on a school bus because that school bus can't go down that road. So you want to take SUT money from us when we can't even get your bus down?
Well, you know, you got some that wants
You know, look at that real quick. That's the road, look right down on that tax money. The education not really get part of it, so,
now, right now.
yeah,
So they're getting 25% of it now.
25% of the state's half.
Yeah,
The other half goes to municipalities and counties.
and that's a more.
But now their argument on that it's staying on state level and it's not trickling down. That's their argument on that.
Well, what funds the school?
Now, you're talking about the SUT money, you talking, yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying it short, I'm sorry, but anyway, but it's my understanding, on the state level, they get it, but it's not trickling back locally. See, what they've lost is that once it sales tax, they're not getting as much because people are ordering offline. Well, we're losing our once it sales tax too, but we're getting,
Right now, in
what percentage
Cleburne,
do we get out of that?
8%, but we don't get 8%, the state gets 8%.
right now in Cleburne County,
6%, right?
since this whole started, right now in Cleburne County, you're getting a whole heck of a lot more sales tax than you was 5 years ago in Cleburne County, even though with Amazon, people buying offline.
The first,
Because most of the people that buys offline is people that shops at Target and Walmart in Oxford or in Carrollton. About the only thing you sell around here is a car or, I mean, you don't sell some of the items that a lot of people buy offline.
and cars are completely different tax.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, they're not,
January,
there's more money in Cleburne County right now than it was 5 years ago.
from January through June of this year, we got $190,000.
And with that 190,000, how many bridges can you replace?
190,000,
Okay.
And I
I
think
mean,
that's
they
not,
have to look at what we're dealing too. You want to compare apples to apples, let's compare apple to apple.
But see, they're not even willing to sit down and see what it actually is. Because he argued with me it's a law, and I said, it's not a law. There's nothing about the SSUT money, it's law, except how it's distributed. Everything else is just an agreement with Amazon and all these other companies. There is no
It could
law.
go away tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I tried to explain to him. But anyway,
All right.
well, I think the biggest thing we're trying to get with the attorney to find out. And, but what do y'all think about the avenue of, 2 deputies instead of 3, one for the north end, one for the south end? Are we gonna put one in the trash bin?
The trash is a high risk area today now because you're dealing with older students.
I feel safe with that.
to secure trade school, you probably need 3 deputies if you were gonna try to secure it.
But I mean, it's
It's
just
30 roll up road right now.
So how many problems have you had with trash bin in the past 10 years? Have
I
you had a lot of problems at the trash bin?
don't know, I'm just saying, when you're doing.
I'd be scared to go out there and call the problem. I've been out there 2 times, one time just to go out there and do some scraping in the parking lot, and one time to cut down a limb, and they were on me, and I said, listen, I was just called out here to cut this limb off so y'all see it coming around the curb. They are on their toes, because it's all on camera there.
That's good.
And I'm talking about 2 times, both times, they come out there, and I'm talking about some big old boys. Like I want to know what my situation was. I said, my situation is I'm going to pick up these limbs off of the bus and get out. You remember that, don't you? So,
We probably just need to hear what Jason has to say.
yeah, that's it.
And then, like Ryan said, probably just like to have a special meeting to sort all of it out.
Yeah.
Now, we all know that we want the security in the school system. It's just, how can we get to that point? And us all agree.
Well, I know I can hire a security firm, but I sign a contract with a security firm, putting a responsibility on them. But I know I can't take a third party, the sheriff's office, and sign a contract, tell him to do anything. And then, so until you figure that one out, then we'll put some new
Well,
deputies.
even if you hire a security system, would that gonna cost us less?
It's my understanding that the sheriff's department is over, and I know that they've become a part of our organization, the ACCA. But they were always under, and Dennis was like, I'm not signing a contract. We've always been told, we're not signing, it's the commission that does the contract. And I always heard that from Nikki when she was in revenue. They never wanted to sign a contract. They always, was contract, they always wanted to come to us. So that's another thing we might need to ask some of the
Run that by
ACCA.
Jason and run that by Meg,
Yeah.
ACCA, she'll know.
Phil, is that?
My question too, would it be cheaper for us to hire an outside firm, to come in and do the security work?
That's one of my
See,
questions.
nobody's explored that, because that's not the route they want to take.
You can get a firm to come in, and now I don't know, that they will not be licensed like we want them licensed. You might could get them with a stun gun or something like that. But the main thing is to have somebody there observing with a radio or something, and maybe do a little in-house security, but don't mention anything about this going, that should be done at the school. That's another thing. Are they going to take heed to the security guard that's there, that you need to put stuff over the windows like y'all did? Well, that's one of my questions, but it just, it is what it is. Let's just wait and see what he says.
As far as work session for this commission meeting, everybody good?
Only one thing is I talked with, Jason about the chamber. He said that the county commission can cut grass at any entity like that in kind services. He said he said we could do it, if we feel like we need to do a resolution, you can do a resolution. He said then you're really tying yourself to, keeping it cut to where if you just do it as in-kind services. But he says either way the commission can do it. So if you want to do a resolution to cut the grass, if you don't want to cut the grass, that way you can say, I don't want to cut the grass there, you just vote no, and then we ain't got to fool with it. But I just,
Just do this in-house?
he said either or, he said he would suggest not doing it, that there's not an issue doing it, but whichever way y'all want to do it, I just want to make sure I brought that up.
Sounds good to me, about the in-kind.
When you say in-kind, does that mean you get something back for it, or what?
Something right with me.
I don't know, I mean, is there, if you get, like if somebody gave me something for my, campaign as in-kind, it's not a value, and it has to be listed, so I didn't know. I know when we've done stuff for the chamber before, we always had to get a product back or something, y'all remember that? Like the maps and stuff, that we ever gave them money, at least we got maps out of it that helped the county.
Well, I think they promote business in the county, and I think it's a good thing that they do. They spend a lot of time doing things. I think we get a lot of that service and volunteer work back. It's no sweat, no money off the county's back. Jason will be here next week, and we can talk to him, let him explain it. If y'all, if not, I'll pick a resolution on there to do something.
Just talk to Jason. We'll get it cut to $33,000.
Well, I don't know what, we're getting something in return. I understand what Ryan, I thought like campaigning or something, I don't understand what you mean about campaigning.
Well, I know you have to list that as in-kind, and I didn't know when he said in-kind, I was just curiosity, how that would work. I like the chamber, but I feel like we're getting into a nonprofit. You got other nonprofits. How come you don't cut grass for Hearts? They do a lot of things for people. you got a lot of other nonprofits, you've got the Masons, you got a lot of churches. You just kind of, you're benefiting one group with county taxpayers' money. That's just my opinion. I just don't.
Well, I think what you're talking about the hearts, I think we do switch to that for hearts. But I think when you start talking about churches and everything like that right there, I don't know how you can compare the Cleburne County Chamber of Commerce to a church or to organizations that, I think they're representing the people of Cleburne County. There's a lot of citizens that's on there. I think Warren Sherrill's on there. I mean, they got a lot of people that's, you know.
Well, and that's fine. We can make a resolution and do that. It just gets into, you know, and everything. I'm not against the chamber. We always talk about doing, you know, watching our tax money or watching our money. So,
Man, I keep saying that big.
they do.
Yeah, I told them I don't run that store no more.
All right, so we're through work session.
Yep.
Everybody ready? Now, we had a continued meeting call today concerning the budget. Do you want to continue it, or is there something that we can actually talk about, work on?
It's gonna be hard to do anything without Lisa.
And,
Laura, do you have a couple of questions you think that needs to be, that she can send to her? I spoke to her this morning about it.
Yeah, I talked to her.
And so get that done. But also in the budget that she sent with us, it needs to be changed to 2.0, and she needs to keep up with that. And then also the numbering of the pages, if you're gonna do one, you know, just make sure it's correct, look over it, because these pages are different than these pages as far as being numbered out.
And I told her to go ahead and, I think it would be easier for us to have her to go ahead and put approved and us make the changes.
I would like to have time to go over this new version.
She just gonna copy that over here. That's all she's gonna do, so.
But,
You want?
Yeah, we've already had to change some of this stuff.
yeah.
well, he was out the other day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what is?
That's the reason it's a 2-0 though, instead of doing that, just make it a 2-0.
Did you-
It's this one.
Do y'all know some changes? Mr. Hill's wanting to see what some of the changes or ideas were made the other day. Do y'all have a list of those for his? Is that what you want to do, is go to the budget now?
No.
Oh, I misunderstood.
I want time to look through it
Oh, okay.
before taking action.
But
All right.
I'm saying is, y'all done made changes the other day, if she would put those changes here,
So you know what the
where,
changes are.
where I know what the changes is.
Put changes in red
And
or
then
something.
we can make changes
Did, I
finalized.
asked her to highlight them, did she not?
Mhm.
But one thing of it is, let's just go down and just look at one, for instance, and because
I mean, we can go through it, y'all wanna go through it.
when we get down here to mailing services, it's on page 7 in the new one that she just sent you. Let's see, now this is the new one, which one's the new one? It's this one, number 7.
Now, and service,
Yeah. It was 52, I thought we had talked about $4,400 on that line item, Terry, and it's 1,000 from 52.
Which one, you talking about
That there is,
the jail?
250,
County administrator.
yeah. County Administrator General Fund. On,
Okay, which line you talking about?
258.
250. It was 5,200, and also cell phone services. I know Emily's working on that, and we're just gonna leave it like it is. Just, you know, if we, you know, some of those numbers, if we don't use it, we don't use it. But, I was just making sure that why it went down to 1,000, because I had a note beside mine, 4,400. Because it went down to, but she, you know, she looked at her budget, and she said, right now, this is the number I'm at. And we got 2 months to go.
4,400 was for cell phones,
Right.
and then 1,000 was for mailing.
Right, so that's my question is, she went down to 1,000, is that good?
I don't have anything written about 1,000, but I got 4,400 written about 4,000.
Okay. Okay.
on the sale, but I also remember I asked the question, could we look into getting a cheaper service or something?
Right. And then they couldn't swap it around. So, I'm good. It's
Your
271.
appropriation, 700 line, but, big difference. What was the notation on that?
Well, what she did, she only moved,
Question mark on it, that's all I got.
yeah, you talking about on appropriation?
Yeah.
On appropriation, she only put in there the 50,000, she didn't understand she was supposed to move the money, discretionary money over. And so she only put 50,000 in there for the industrial
She
development.
put the industrial development money into that.
And that's all she added, she didn't move this line item over, but, all that right there includes the 50,000.
We talked about actually having another line code for the industrial thing.
Right.
I don't know what she did on that. It's gonna be hard to do this without her here.
Yeah, but she got a million notes.
Yeah, did she put any notes on her new stuff? She didn't put any notes on hers.
So you guys just wanna go ahead and make a motion to continue the meeting till Monday at 10
Right.
in the morning?
Did you
Can you
get
figure
clear
them out
about
at
the
10?
budget voting, budget on the voting?
On the election,
Elections.
Wow.
You got
Thursday.
You got weather on your budget, right?
Yeah, it's all-
Because them was the two that we didn't even go over.
We talked Tuesday.
Because that's what I'm looking at, because that's why I was wondering why that was such a big difference. But I think this is the other.
The, I can answer some of that.
In salaries and wages.
Let me find my crowd.
Did Fred tell you about that, how much that fence, I can't believe that fence was that much.
Yeah. But if that's what it is, we'll just file against the insurance.
So, he said he's gonna get another price, I said, I don't see wasting, the other day he told me there's only one person that will fix it.
Yeah.
And so we got a price of $18.50, and I told him, I said, while they're there, look and see if there's any other things that need to be fixed, which will come out of our budget. So you want us to go ahead and just turn that over to the
Yeah.
insurance?
Yeah.
Hey, what do we find out about the old school building?
I don't know that we found anything different.
The
We
people,
can turn in the insurance.
oh,
We can turn in the insurance.
I don't know if Lisa's done that or not, I don't know.
If
She's
we found
covered
out.
that. You're talking about Old Hopewell building in the roof.
the lady that's over the church across the street,
Yeah, but
there's
it's
two
tied, a
people.
lot of it's tied into
Uh,
to the job.
that said that they might be willing to let us have the elections over there going forward.
The job study's going.
But Brian said As long as we do it, what is the length of time, if we move it over there, what's the length of time that we, is it too late now, right?
Well, I think it'd be best to stay in the cycle. If
Yeah.
we're gonna move it, then move it in the
Next
2024
Okay.
cycle.
So I'm gonna,
Print it out,
so I guess I'm gonna go meet with the lady at the church and her husband, I guess it's two people, but I'll get with Fred. But there was a guy that was telling me that they would look at letting us do that.
You can move things because of an emergency, but unless we can talk to Jason about that too, if there is a period. But
Well, what
it'd
is that,
be
Fred,
best
we can
if
use it?
possible to leave it through
Well,
November.
It's not.
I want to ask you on that, you've got $10,000 on miscellaneous, that's a big number. Can you move it, try to figure out, put it somewhere else, get it out of that?
It's tough.
That's a red flag.
It's tough. Because I don't know what's going into it. We tried throughout the year to put it somewhere, maybe try to find somewhere to put it. But there's just stuff that comes up that just don't
Well, you
fit.
gotta say it's about 80% better than it was when we first come in office, because there was some miscellaneous items, it was just miscellaneous budget.
What she sent in an email, maybe what's all we're looking for, it's got red and things to the side, so.
Oh, she has?
She sent an email to me, now I don't know if you all got it.
She just you, nobody else?
Surely she sent it to y'all.
You got that?
You probably did.
the breakdown of what that's gonna be? Just how it's looking. I got it somewhere.
From the front door.
Out there. Well, maybe I did.
What is it?
So I ain't even seen, finished with mine.
Yeah, it's got 2.0.
Here it is. Well, I had
I
some.
don't know, I left my iPad.
Is that what she sent, kind of like what y'all looking for? A little detail?
Let me see, I'll fix it quick on here. Yep, it's in red too. Did you get it, did you get it?
I did, I printed it, showed me to print the whole workbook to take out some of that stuff, so,
Oh,
yeah. But I was thinking she's made a couple of notes in it, but not like what y'all are looking for.
Okay, what day was the email sent? Today's?
when she sent it,
Mhm.
well, I just got it, so
She
that'll
sent
be.
it, good afternoon, Chris is going to provide a hard copy for each of you.
Yeah, so I got the email from her today.
You got it at 2:12.
If she just hit print on the document, it's not.
Yeah, Michelle's in two
It's not gonna
points.
show the
My
remarks.
phone, please. My computer.
Does Chris know that?
Do you know how to print that would to include on the notes?
See right here, look.
That's what I was gonna say, if you just hit print on it, it's just gonna print the document, not print the notes, you've got to tell it.
Yeah.
There's print comments or print something.
Ryan, can you send it to me and I can print out some copies for them?
Yeah.
And basically what it has is the notes that we discussed there, they're there. That would be a good one to read over when they're on Monday. I run it off my iPad, it's so much easier to do it off my iPad than this. You sign on
We
that?
had, Roger and I met with, the group last week on the animal shelter. They've got a very active group. I was very impressed with them. They got all their stuff together.
We're gonna have to get on that, animal sure.
Yeah, they were working with, the CPA, is meeting with them the next, the 20th, is it the 20th? Some of it's the 20th. And with an attorney to set up their 501c.
Yeah, she did, if you do it on your computer, that's what you're gonna see it.
How
And
they
that will give you all the notes.
do notes.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, she just sent it at 2 o'clock, so,
Okay.
I would suggest you, get home and get on your computer and,
I don't know about.
When you build an animal shelter, they want a lot, like if they have to get a hog or a cow or a horse or something. Like a little grassy area.
let me tell you what I've got. I've got an in-ground grill for any hogs or pigs. Yeah, I'll take them.
You know, under the state, what we found out under the state law, it doesn't include like horses or, it only includes cats, dogs, and birds. I didn't know that.
Let me show you this one.
Bills with those three animals.
All right, I'm gonna call the continuing meeting to order, because we had it advertised, we had it advertised and continued to this date, so I'll entertain a motion to continue the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
All right, any discussion? So the meeting will be moved to Monday at 10 o'clock. All in favor saying aye?
Those are about 10
Motion
pound baby pigs. Show, you see it?
Did you?
Yeah.